we finished 2 weeks ago with this all-important Yoga Sutra that is really the first recipe we're given. And Melissa, you can respond to me. Abhyasa Vairagya.
Abhyasa Vairagya.
Abhyam.
Abhyam.
Tan.
Tan.
Nirodha.
Nirodha.
Abhyasa Vairagya.
Abhyasa Vairagya.
Abhyam.
Abhyam.
Tan Nirodha.
Tan Nirodha.
Beautiful. Which means the stopping back internally of those spinnings in my field of awareness happens from two things. Abhyam is a case ending, meaning because of or due to two things. And those two are abhyasa and vairagya, practice and non-attachment. We did this 2 weeks ago. We've done it a bunch. The next thing that happens is the definition of what is abhyasa. You can respond to me, Melissa. Tatrastitau.
Tatrastitau.
Yatno bhyasaha.
Yatno bhyasaha.
Yes, we have an apostrophe here in Sanskrit. It looks like the English letter S. It means, let's tie these things together. And so the whole sutra goes, Tatrastitau yatno bhyasaha.
Tatrastitau yatno bhyasaha.
So close your eyes, Melissa. Such a perfected engineering science mind. Instead, use your ears and fully hear my sounds and then make the same ones. You ready? Tatrastitau.
Tatrastitau.
Yatno bhyasaha.
Yatno bhyasaha.
Tatra.
Tatra.
Stitau.
Stitau.
Yatnaha.
Yatnaha.
Abhyasaha.
Abhyasaha.
Good, you can open your eyes. So these things have the same ending. Yatnaha.
Yatnaha.
Abhyasaha.
Abhyasaha.
So we know they're talking about each other. So what is a practice? It is yatnaha. It is exertion or volition. Volition is more than a choice. It's like an absolute. I'm doing this, no matter what. But it does say zeal, exertion, volition, after. After what? In a firmness or a settledness in being there. And where is there? It is the standing apart from the soap opera mentioned in the third sutra. So what is a practice? What is abhyasa? It is a choice, an absolute choice, an exertion, an effort in standing there, in standing apart from my drama from the past. That's what a practice is. The next definition of a practice, and Melissa, you can respond to me, is satu.
Satu.
Dirgha.
Dirgha.
Kala.
Kala.
Nairantarya.
Nairantarya.
Satkara.
Satkara.
Asevita.
Asevita.
Dridha.
Dridha.
Bhumihi.
Bhumihi.
Beautiful. And this, do you remember what any of it means, Melissa?
I know the bhu is the earth.
Very good. Bhu means earth, like in Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, the Gayatri mantra. So it means, go ahead.
The only other part I recognize is the sat, the
Sat.
truth.
Correct. Sat means truth, or what is. Correct. Many people know the root sound save from seva, means devotion or service. So a is a prefix which means from all directions. Sevata. So I approach my practice becomes dridha bhumihi, or I myself become firmly grounded as my practice when I become firmly grounded as my practice when I approach it from with total devotion, sevata. And a practice needs to be satkara, it means to be truth-bearing. You might recognize the root sound krit from karma or kriya. So satkara means it's truth-making. Nairantarya means that it's without end. Dirghakala means long time. So what this whole sutra says is that a practice becomes firmly grounded when it's done for a long time without interruption, and when it's truth-bearing and approached with devotion from all sides. That is the way to unpack this Yoga Sutra. All right, Alejandro, you're still there, so I'm going to unmute you. You ready?
Yes.
Well, down here in the black and orange, not just because it's autumn time, but because we're doing the words as they're broken apart. Drishta.
Drishta.
Then notice, all of you, in the characters, all of the symbolism of the tip of the tongue, because we're at position 3. Drishta.
Drishta.
Anushravika.
Anushravika.
Vishaya.
Vishaya.
Vitrishnasya.
Vitrishnasya.
Vashikara.
Vashikara.
Sangya.
Sangya.
Vairagyam.
Vairagyam.
Beautiful chanting, Alejandro. And what the sutra says is, what is vairagya? Well, we defined abhyasa previously, so now we're at vairagya, non-attachment, or the state of not being colored or not having preference. And this is difficult. Well, it says vairagya is the full knowledge. Sangya. It's the full knowledge or the declaration of mastery. Vashikara. Completely made. The full knowledge of mastery of non-thirsting, or being away from thirst. You remember the prefix vi, Alejandro? What about vyana vayu, right? So prana vayu comes in and fills me up, but vyana vayu goes out, right? So we do like Tai Chi exercise, inhale, exhale. And that's vyana vayu, it takes things out. Well, vi is a prefix, it always means away or apart or a particular distinction. So here we have away from Trishna, and Trishna means thirst. Vishaya means objects, which have been anushravika, heard, or drishta, seen. So the full sutra means vairagya, the state of non-preference or not being colored, is actually a declaration of mastery, of not being thirsty for what I've seen or heard before. And I translate this sutra all the time to mean things like arriving at the practice as a beginner, with beginner's mind, and just enjoying what is. Not like, well, yesterday I could touch my toes in a forward bend, so today I'm going to make myself. Or yesterday in my pranayama, in my breathing practices, I could like, the breath just naturally suspended for so long. So today I'm going to make myself hold my breath for 3 minutes. That's performance-based, and nothing about yoga is performance-based. Yoga is an exploration, not a performance. Then we're here, Alejandro, and this sutra is a further definition of that non-thirsting quality. Tat param.
Tat param.
When you're chanting Alejandro, if you end in a resonant character, you can hold it as long as you want. Tat param. Mm. So you could chant and you could just end in that for a while. Tat param.
Tat param.
There you go. Purusha.
Purusha.
Kyate.
Gyate.
And this is difficult for us. We have to put that aspiration in here. So it's ka.
Ka.
But then it's kya.
Kya.
And then it's kya.
Kya.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like what you're like encouraging.
Like a karate chop.
I guess so. Kyate.
Kyate.
Guna.
Guna.
Vaitrishnam.
Vaitrishnam.
Very good. So do you remember what guna means, Alejandro?
Is a quality of nature.
Very good. So we learn the gunas when we're learning Ayurveda. And Vitrishna was non-thirsting. Vaitrishnam is the state of non-thirsting. Kyati means an identification. And the case ending eh means due to. Purusha, do you know that word, Alejandro?
Yes.
So,
Is the no, sorry. Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is the creation, where everything comes from, the mind.
right. So Purusha is not the creation. Purusha is like the creator. So Purusha is often described as God in the masculine. Purusha also is that austere soul quality, or my true self. So Purusha is the true self.
Like the soul?
Yeah, something like that. I don't think the word is normally translated exactly as that, but it's more the that seer within, the true self. But I think soul is probably a fine translation. Tat param means that higher, or that highest. So the highest sense of non-thirsting is non-thirsting for the elements themselves due to identification with the true self. So here before we had not thirsting for what I've seen or heard. And this is challenging for each of us because each of us, we become, we become used to things, complacent in our life, whether it's money or the taste of certain, a certain kind of wealth of food that we're able to have. But actually, if we can break free from everything that we've seen and heard from before, then we arrive at the practice fresh and clean like a beginner each day. And so like a lot of yoga teachers will give us exercises to break our thirst, right? So if you're a person who's a food addict, then fasting once a week or having a monthly cleanse for 3 days each month is an essential part of your training. If you're a person who likes to talk, then your teacher will give you a day of silence or sometimes months of silence. If you're someone who's addicted to your body, whether it's like doing postures and asana or playing sports or liking to have physical relationships with other people, then there will be this period of absolute celibacy or absolute like stillness and non-use of the body. In this way, the teacher is helping you to break free from what you've seen or heard of before. Do you follow me?
Yes.
But the next sutra says that eventually the highest state of non-thirsting is when you no longer crave any qualities at all because you've identified as the soul. And this is a huge sense of non-attachment or non-preference. This is such a state of surrender. It's like I'm just blissfully going down the river of life. I no longer there's no interest really. I don't, come what may, like the body is going to go through whatever the body goes through. I'm going to endure whatever's mine to endure. Of course, I'm going to keep the body clean. Of course, I'm going to do my practices, but I have no attachment to whether one person is there taking my yoga class or 100. I don't, I don't care if it's snowing outside or raining outside. I'm still going outside. It's kind of like that. Okay, Macy, we'll do a couple sutras with you, and then we'll call it a day. Ready, Macy?
Yeah.
You have a couple minutes still?
Yep, I have till 5:30.
Okay, we'll do these 2 sutras, and then you can go on. So we're here in the black and orange. Vitarka,
Vitarka,
Vichara,
Vichara,
Ananda,
Ananda,
Asmita,
Asmita,
Rupa,
Rupa,
Anugamat,
Anugamat,
Sampragyataha.
Sampragantyaha.
So just close your eyes and listen to me, and then make the sound. Sampragyataha.
Sampragyataha.
There you go. And open your eyes. This is the challenge in actually reading letters, right? Rather than feeling sounds and then trying to make them. If you look, eventually you all will see that these characters are what you do with your mouth, but it takes a while to build that awareness. But here's a difference that you might be able to pick up on. This one was vitarka.
Vitarka.
But this one is vichara.
Vichara.
So there was a longer, it wasn't vitarka, right? There's not an extra vertical line here, but here there is an extra vertical line because it's that long ah, just like we have here, ananda. Try that.
Ananda.
And you might see that this n sound is repeated. Ananda.
Ananda.
But here, this was ah, but this is up. Asmita.
Asmita.
Good. So what this sutra says, Macy and everyone, is that nirodha, that stopping back internally, because we had 3 components in Sutra 12, abhyasa and vairagya. We had a practice and we had non-attachment, and that's what leads to that state of stopping back basically the past, my drama from the past, all that karma that I incarnated to burn up. So I need a practice and I need non-attachment. Well, we defined abhyasa in Sutra 13-14. We defined vairagya in Sutras 15 and 16. Now we're going to start defining nirodha. And the first definition we have is that it is sampragyataha. And the key sound for you to learn here, Macy, is y. Try it.
Yeah.
And that's this character here. You might see how bunched up it is. Y.
Yeah.
And it became the English K-N-O-W, to know. And that's why it has that secret K in it. It's because it's a compound consonant. G,
Yeah.
which means to know or wisdom. So it's knowledge. And what kind of knowledge? It's pragya. Pragya.
Yeah.
So it's the kind of knowledge that comes from within. It shines forth like divine insight. Not only that, it's sampragya.
Sampragya.
It's perfect. So that inner stopping is perfectly internally cognized, or it's something that grows within me and shines out from within me. And it has when it's connected to forms. Rupa is a word that means form. And these are progressive. The first form is something that's a kind of thought pattern, a particular distinct thought, vitarka, which then leads to an investigation, vichara, which then leads to a sense of bliss, ananda, which then leads to a sense of I amness. And the way I usually describe this is like a teacher will say, inhale, the current rises. Exhale, the current goes down. Well, that's just a thought. until I stay with it, then I actually feel it. I investigate it. Then investigating that leads to a sense of bliss. And then the bliss leads to a sense of I, the watcher of the bliss. Or I'm like learning to drum, right? And the teacher will say, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's the thought of that. And then there's the practice of it. And then there's the bliss of doing it. And then there's me watching. Next sutra, Macy. Ready?
Yeah.
Virama,
Virama,
pratyaya,
pratyaya,
abhyasa,
abhyasa,
purvaha,
purvaha,
samskara,
samskara,
shesha,
shesha,
anyaha.
anyaha.
And this sutra says, it's a reference to the last one, it says that the other is that which is remaining, the residue that's left over from the one previous. So there's this sequential depth to the stopping or stilling of the thoughts, the sequential progression that's happening. So the remainder of the other. So if I'm, for example, doing that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it leaves a residue that is the actual investigation. And the investigation of is just bliss. And so that's what this sutra is saying, is that there is this sequential nature to it, purvaha, which you may recognize from some yoga postures like purvottanasana. So wonderful job. It's really lovely having each of you. That's the end.